Our family vacation this year spanned 3 generations of women. My mom, I, my sister, and her 2 kids. We set off for Nesmazil, a quaint village on the coast of the North Sea in East Frisia. We stayed on a charming farm with many animals: geese, ducks, sheep, goats, bunnies, cats, and ponies. On the day we arrived, it rained, but we enjoyed the lovely view from our main big window. That night, my mom and I squeezed into a small room with our 3 dogs. The next day dawned without rain. We explored the farm and ventured over the dike, only to find the water had receded with the low tide, but revealing a stunning landscape. In the afternoon, the water returned with high tide. Low and high tide alternate every 6 hours in the Wadden Sea, bringing about stunning changes to the landscape almost every minute of the day. we saw fascinating items and collected seashells and driftwood. In the evening, we helped feed the animals. One sheep was bottle fed as a lamb and quickly became my best friend. He was so very cute. Dinner that evening was pasta with tomato pesto sauce and vegetables. The following morning, we returned to the beach at low tide. The weather was unpredictable. Sun, rain, wind, all mixed together. We experienced heavy rain for about 5 minutes, followed by sunshine. We explored the tidal flats, also known as the Wadden Sea. During low tide, it's possible to walk far onto the mud flats and, in some areas, even from the mainland to one of the islands or Halligen. You're actually walking on the living seabed. Walking on the mud flats, you will hear only the sound of wind and the calls of the birds. Here you can see for yourself how the constant interaction between wind, water, and waves has shaped the landscape since the last ice age, and how it continues to do so. For a snack, we enjoyed Matjesbrötchen, which is pickled fish on a bun, and fries. It's a typical German coastal treat. Back at the farm, we spent some time drawing and crafting. In the afternoon, we drove to Norddeich to visit a seal rescue station. They care for orphaned baby seals and grey seals, feeding them until they are old enough to be released back into the wild. Seals inhabit coastal waters and beaches. All seal species have evolved to be adapted to life at sea. For instance, through their steam-lined bodies, shortened hind legs, forelegs developed into flippers, and webbed toes. Seals are divided into 3 families: eared seals, earless seals, and walruses. The German coast of the North Sea is home to 2 of a total of 35 species of seals worldwide: the common seal and the gray seal. When they dive deep into the water, only their muscles, brain, and heart are supplied with blood, so that their metabolic rate and oxygen consumption is significantly reduced. Through this adjustment, seals can dive for up to 20 minutes. All seals have a well-developed sense of smell. They can perceive changes in pressure and water current through their whiskers. Seals do not chew their food, and their teeth are specialized for catching fish, which they usually swallow whole. Common seals can live for up to 40 years, though the average is 12, and can reach 1.8 meters in length and 120 kilograms in weight. Females are slightly smaller than males. The second species of seal that is native to the Wadden Sea is the gray seal. Until the Middle Ages, gray seals were more frequent in the Wadden Sea than the common seals, but human activity almost drove them into extinction. Now they are back again, a major success story for the national park. Male gray seals can be up to 2.3 meters long and weigh about 330 kilograms. Females weigh only half as much and are lighter with black speckles. We learned a lot about seals and the tidal flats. After the seal rescue station, we strolled through the local area and shops. We saw beautiful and way too expensive candles and gemstone hearts that would be intriguing for Audrey, right? In the park, I discovered a circle of birch trees. A wonderful and unique sight. Back at the farm, we enjoyed a delicious dinner of salad with pasta and beans. The next morning, we headed back to Norddijk. There's a special beach for dogs, and Frida had a blast playing with a new friend. It was low tide again, and though the weather was grey, it didn't rain. Back at home, we wrote some postcards. That evening, we visited a neighboring farm and ordered pizza, which we ate in a barn built in 1714. Can you imagine? The barn was 310 years old, with beams made from pine trees that were transported by sea from Sweden. By sea means ships pulled them through the water. That's incredible, right? On our last day before heading home, we drove to Norden. We strolled through the old town, admiring the beautiful houses, eating ice cream, and browsing interesting books. We found a chocolate shop that made stunning and delicious chocolate creations almost too pretty to eat. We also visited the Ludgeri Church, the largest church in East Frisia. The old part of the church was built around 1230, and the largest section was constructed around 1445. I couldn't find a translation for Fürstenstuhl, but it's basically a separated place in the church for the king and his family, and this one was built in 1596. After a short visit to the tea museum, mainly because we needed the restroom, we secretly climbed the tower and enjoyed the view from the top. But psst, don't tell anyone. Finally, we found a post box to send our postcards, mostly to America. And then we had to drive back home, our mind full of memories from a wonderful family vacation. I hope you enjoyed our vacation through the YouTube too. Bye!